everyone, welcome to the Average USA Citizen Show. This is episode number 12. This episode is entitled, I titled it, Pro Athletes. Are they role models? Now, a little background story on why I decided to pick this topic. I've been doing a lot of topics based on, politics, based on, probably what more people think serious issues. Well, sports is serious. Well, it's serious to me and it's serious to a lot of people. Also, we're talking about athletes who get paid millions of dollars and owners of teams that make millions and millions of dollars and businesses that are huge. We're talking billion-dollar industries here. So, of course, it's a big deal to us here at the Average USA Citizen Show. Not to mention, I've always said that, if you're passionate about something, you can talk about it here. And I'm passionate about sports. And one thing that actually irritates me a little bit is how pro athletes have been given this whole thing of we're not role models. And I'm not saying that I would want people to look up to athletes as role models, but let's be honest. They are somewhat role models because there are just not a lot of role models out there. My opinion about this issue, and I'm going to get more into it and tell you why I've brought it up today, is that athletes should carry themselves at a higher standard than your average person. One, they get paid a lot of money to play a game. Two, they know, or they should know, that there's a lot of kids, probably like themselves, that are watching them and watching their every move. And, they should take that serious. And what is the thing that I always say? With great freedom comes great responsibility. Well, with great, freedom, which is equated to the money that they make, comes with great responsibility. I feel they have a responsibility to their fans. I'm not saying they have to be perfect, and nobody is perfect, but come on. If you read the paper or watch TV or on the internet, it's like every other day. This athlete has got a DUI. This athlete has beat his girlfriend. This athlete has been taking illegal drugs. I mean, on and on and on and on. It just goes on and on. Okay, well, the reason that pushed me into talking about this subject, I've been thinking about this subject for a while, but the reason why I brought it up to you guys is the whole New Orleans Saints scandal that was going on. If you haven't heard about it, to make a long story short, the Saints got caught, they got caught having, putting up this bounty system where they would give bonuses to their players to take out other teams' players, to get them hurt. Okay, first of all, is that for real? Well, it is for real. They actually did do that. They got caught, the head coach, he ended up lying that he didn't know anything about it. And so everybody got in trouble. A lot of people got in trouble. Head coach just found out he's suspended for a year. He's going to miss the whole season. The defensive coach, who's like at the head of that, who is now with the St. Louis Rams, he's suspended indefinitely. The team got fined, which was, fine, but team, yeah, okay, a little bit of money, whatever. And there's more things that are going to happen to this. Probably more players are going to be getting in trouble, suspensions. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with this. But this has kind of like pushed me over the edge about this issue. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I think athletes, pro athletes, have a responsibility to their fans. Now, I know that there are a lot of athletes that come from difficult situations. Maybe they didn't have, a good upbringing or, whatever. I don't know all their situations, but, I understand that. But that's not everybody, okay? And even if that's true, even if they had a hard life, once they now make it, they need to be molded into the mold of being better citizens. Why? Because they're being paid to be at a higher level. I mean, let's get realistic here. They make money that you and I will never see to play a game. So they could, it's my opinion, and they should at least try to be, not bad. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good stand-up athletes out there, but the bad guys are giving them a bad name. And on the whole, there are a lot of thugs, I like to call it. There are a lot of thugs that are playing professional sports. And I'm not saying there's no hope for these people. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, what I would want to encourage is for each individual league to step up their mentoring system. Make it important that they realize that their actions, not just affect them, but affect the kids who watch them. This is ridiculous. Look at this going on with this team, this New Orleans Saints team. They were paying players to hurt other players. That just makes me sick. And I love sports. It's like, and I'm pretty sure they're not the only ones that do it. So, I think, as citizens, we need to make our voices heard. Just like I always encourage you to make your voices heard on issues to your representatives, we need to do this too for our sports. They're businesses. They have, they need us to survive. We need to let them know that, they're kind of dropping the ball. Get it? Dropping the ball. They're kind of dropping the ball right now. So, my stance is this. Okay. If you're going to go into pro athletes, if you're going to become a pro athlete, whether it's the NBA, NFL, baseball, basketball, any, hockey, any pro athletics, I think that you need to, the leagues need to have a mentoring system. Now, I know some of them do have something like that, but it's not working. More and more people I hear, how many times I hear, another player got a DUI, another player, beat his girlfriend, another player, is taking illegal drugs, or, it's just ridiculous, okay? And I know it's hard because, you have players that come from difficult situations and then all of a sudden get thrown millions of dollars and anything they want right at their feet. Of course, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not hard, but I'm also not saying that that's how every player has it, okay? And so the other players that are there with those players, they need to step up and say, hey, listen, brother, come on. You need to step it up. Act like a man, be a good role model. And you know what? Charles Barkley's wrong. I like Charles Barkley, okay? I think he's funny. I like watching him as a player. When he said, I'm not a role model, okay, I don't think that athletes should necessarily be the main role model for kids. But of course you're a role model because kids look up to you. They buy your shirts. They watch you on TV. I did. I do. I remember being a kid and I was like, yeah, Dr. J, that guy's the coolest guy ever. I want to be like Dr. J. Okay? And then the same thing when Michael Jordan came. Man, Michael Jordan's so cool. He's out there doing stuff that is amazing. Of course I'm going to look up to him. It doesn't even matter if you have, good role models around you. You're still going to look up to them. So, yeah. You shouldn't be the only role model for kids. And sometimes you are. But you don't know. So, be the best you can be. Stand up, Stand up for, kids that don't have other role models. You're making money playing a game. At least, be responsible. Now, I know it's hard, to, I don't know, watch over this, I can't actually go into the locker room and say, hey, player Smith or whatever the player's name, and say, hey, you're not making the mark, that's not how, and that's not what I want either. I don't want that. I just want to see the different leagues, taking a better stance for, for society, for our society, making, a difference. They always, they do these little commercials about doing the right thing and all this other stuff, but, actually, all they need to do is just be, a normal person, do your job. Don't be your girlfriend. Don't drink and drive. Don't take illegal drugs. I mean, if you want to do all that stuff, just don't be a professional athlete, And I think as a society, as our country, we need to be harder on that. I'm not saying you make a mistake, you're out forever, but maybe we should be a little bit more harder, because there's a lot of guys out there that have made one, made two, made three, keep making mistakes because they know they can make them and they can come back. So this episode is a little different. I mean, you can't actually call your representative about this. I mean, I guess you could. I mean, there's not as much they could do for you. But what you could do is you could write into your favorite team, or you could write into your favorite league. Like, let's say you love basketball. Write the NBA. Write them. Find out. Look it up. I mean, I know all these places have ways to contact them. Write them and tell them how you feel about this. How you think that they are dropping the ball, like I said. I'm not saying that they all have to be squeaky clean and do everything right. But the thing is, yeah, they should be held to a higher level. I'm getting tired of hearing athletes, I'm watching ESPN and they're like, well, you can't expect us to be held to a higher level. Well, why not? You make a lot more money than I do. You have more opportunities than I do. You have more freedoms than I do, basically. And with greater freedoms come greater responsibility. And that's exactly what I talk about all the time. And that's why I bring it up here. New Orleans Saints, I mean, come on. If you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you need to write your team. You need to tell them, yeah, I know, it sounds like, oh, we need to stand up for our team. No, but you need to write them and say, you know what? This is not acceptable. This is ridiculous. No, I support your team. And now I look like an idiot. I mean, I know it's not everybody in the Saints organization, and I'm not saying that, but they need to really show that they're ready, that they're going to clean up their act and not do this kind of stuff. And if any other team is doing stuff like that, they need to stop it now. So what can you do? Like I said, you You, as the average citizen like me, you could write your team. You can write the teams. You can even write the players, but definitely you can write the teams. You can write the leagues. I probably would go write the leagues first, and maybe they can do something, and then write the teams. And then, just encourage them to continue to have better mentoring for for the younger players, and just to try to get this under control, because I feel like it's going a little bit out of control. And there's always been some, okay? I mean, that's just the nature of the business, that there's always going to be some bad apples, It's like any business. There's always some people that aren't great. But I feel like it's getting worse. And, we need to stop this. I mean, we need to let our voices be heard. We buy the tickets. We buy the merchandise. We watch the TV. We watch the commercials. We're the reasons why they have those big contracts. If they don't want to act, accordingly, that they could be like good members of society, then they shouldn't be allowed to be in that position. That's my opinion. Let me know how you feel about this. Now, I know this is a little bit different show than I usually do, but when it comes to the Average USA Citizen show, it's anything that we deal with. And, this is something we do deal with, is sports, and we pay, we have a lot of money tied up in professional sports. So, again, I'd like to thank all of you that are watching, and if you have any suggestions for future shows, go ahead and drop me an email or send me a text or anything email me or whatever you want to do. Just let me know what you would like me to talk about. And again, remember, with great freedom comes great responsibility. My name is David. I'm the host, and I will see you next week on the Average USA Citizen Show. Goodbye, everyone.